I'm Leslie from AddEvent. I want to create a video to go over how you can utilize Zapier with AddEvent in order to upload all of your RSVP attendees into your RSVP event. Alright, starting from the top, you'll want to make sure that you've already created your RSVP event in AddEvent so that when you're setting up your Zap in Zapier, you have it available to select. So I've created this example RSVP event and I've ensured that RSVP is enabled. And now I will move over to my Google Sheet to go over how that has been set up. So if you have a CSV file full of RSVP attendees, you can import that into a Google Sheet by clicking File and Import, and then you can upload the file from your computer. And that will automatically create the necessary columns to include all of your data. For this example, I just have a full name column and an email address, and we're assuming that all of these attendees are going and none of them are just interested or submitted to me that they are not going. So all of these attendees are going. And so once you have this, you can start by creating your Zap. So I will actually go back to the home page in Zapier to start from the very beginning. So here from the home page, you can click Create and click Zaps, and this will bring you to your Zap template. We'll go ahead and rename this to RSVP Attendees. Awesome. So the first step is to create a trigger. And for this trigger, we want it to be with Google Sheets. Now, I have already connected my Google Sheets account to Zapier, so that's already been set up. But whenever you are doing this for the very first time, it will ask for your permission to connect to your account. And then once you've done that, you can move on to the trigger event. So this event is what will trigger the RSVP attendee to be uploaded into your event. And there are several options that you can choose from. I recommend new or updated spreadsheet row. So let's say a coworker of yours adds a new RSVP attendee to your Google Sheet. That will trigger the Zapier to upload the RSVP attendee in AddEvent for you. If they update a row, it will trigger that to update as well. And you likely want to choose the ones that say instant next to them. That way there's no delay in the RSVP attendee being uploaded into your event. The ones that say polling may take some time and there may be some delay. So, okay, and then the third field here is just my Google Sheets account. So that's been connected, and you can change it here if you have multiple accounts. And I'm going to click Continue to move on. So this is where we're going to configure our trigger. And it'll start off by asking you which spreadsheet. So for this example, I'm going to use the RSVP attendees spreadsheet I just showed you. And it's also going to ask you which worksheet. I only have one, so I'm going to select that. And the trigger column. So when your Google Sheet has a new row added, they're basically asking which column in your sheet will trigger the event to run. So I'm just going to choose my first column because it's likely they're going to include a full name, so they'll be typing something in that column. And I'm going to click Continue. And then here you can test your trigger. And it'll ask you which row to test with. For this example, we'll just use the very first one. It actually brings up the values of that row. And you can click Continue. And then it's going to have you choose your setup of the integration that you'd like to connect to. So I'm going to choose AddEvent here. And I've already connected my AddEvent account, but when you go to include your account or connect to your account, it will ask you for your API token, which can be found on the account and settings page. I want to note that only admin users have access to the API token. Any editor users or just regular users will not have access. And now moving on to the action event. So for this action event, we want to choose Create RSVP Attendee. And here is just my AddEvent account where I connected to it previously. If you have more than one account, you can always connect a new one and select from this dropdown. So I'm going to click Continue here. Now it's going to ask me which event I want to upload my RSVP attendees to. So I have the first Friday one created for this example. And then it's going to ask you which column in your spreadsheet contains the attendee email address. So once you click the plus sign icon here, it will pull up all of your columns. So I'm going to select my email address one. And for the attendee name, I'm going to select the full name column. And then for this example, all of these attendees are going to be going to the event, so I'll leave it as is. But you have the options of not going or maybe. And then here is if you want to send notifications to your RSVP attendees. For this example, these attendees have already been notified and they've confirmed their attendance. So I'm simply just wanting to upload the attendees in AddEvent. So I'm going to skip over that. And then this is if you'd like to include additional RSVP data. And for this example, I'm just going to use the full name and email address. So I'm going to click Continue here. And now is where you can test the event. So I'm going to click Test Step. And you'll see it loading here. And then it'll show you the data that goes out to AddEvent here. And then you can click Publish once you've confirmed your Zap works. Now, Zap is published. So that means it's ready to go. Any trigger events in your Google Sheet, such as updating a row or creating a new one, will initiate the Zap to upload the attendee. Now, you're probably wondering, how can I upload all of my existing RSVP attendees that don't need editing, or I'm not looking to add more, I just want to upload the existing ones? So you can click this up here and you can click Transfer Data. And then it will load all of the records from your Google Sheet. Okay, so once it's uploaded all of your data, you can select all the columns by checking this checkbox here and then clicking Next. And then it'll tell you that you're about to send 100 records from Google Sheets to AddEvent, and you can click Send Data, and then it'll say Success. Okay, perfect. So now that I've refreshed my RSVP attendees page, I can see now that there are 10 pages of attendees, and it has uploaded their email, their name, and then they have the status of going, as you can see here under the response column. And that's all you have to do to upload all of your RSVP attendees from your Google Sheet. If you have any questions, please reach out to support@addevent.com. We will be more than happy to help. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful content. Thank you.